You know, what's funny about politics right now? Everybody claims they want the people to decide everything until the people start deciding things in ways they didn't predict. Then suddenly the conversation changes. Now you hear about danger. Now you got to hear about extremism. Now everybody on TV starts talking like a substitute teacher that lost control of the classroom. And this redistricting conversation, this whole thing exposed something bigger than maps, y'all. It exposed how much modern politics depend on people staying emotionally locked in to old habits.
Out this morning, but basically very much narrows the Voting Rights Act.
Was it considered a win for
a
who?
win for Republicans?
I love it.
But my question,
This is a very good, we can end this news conference right now. I want to read it.
my question
Wow.
for you, Mr. President, is that some Republican governors have not responded in terms of what they're going to do. I guess early voting, for example, in Louisiana.
Republican governors, what?
Republican governors.
What about it?
Early voting begins Saturday there, for instance. Should they redraw the map in the next couple of
I would. I mean, it depends. I mean, some states don't need to redraw, and some do. I mean, I know what the concept of the road. I just haven't seen the result. Yeah, I would say generally, I would think that they would want to do it. Some are greatly helped, and some, it didn't make much difference. Yeah, I would say they would do that. They have time to do it. Yeah, please.
Boom. Y'all see that map? Holy crap, a new congressional map has been drawn that shows what happens to America when districts are compact, fair in shape, account for actual population without gerrymandering. 280 Republicans, 156 Democrats. A law-dropping GOP majority. And Democrats have been cheating for decades, not just the VRA race, districts that have been abolished, but cheating the GOP out of fair seats. It says we must keep redrawing, restore the maps. And I'll say that clip right there is why people don't trust political media much anymore, because a lot of the reaction wasn't even, the map. It's interesting. All that, right? Let's examine the number. Nah. People reacted like somebody leaked a group chat that we weren't supposed to see after this. Like, I'm telling you, X was lit up. And what stood out to me wasn't even the map itself. It was how fast anybody and everybody jumped into panic language. That's how you know politics today is more psychological than ideological. Most conversations aren't even what policy works best. It's how do we keep people emotionally attached to our side. That's why anytime voting conversation starts shifting, naturally, the language instantly becomes dramatic because fear keeps people frozen, keeps them loyal, keeps people from reevaluating everything. In a second, somebody starts stepping outside those emotional boundaries, things get weird quick.
As an African American man, why are you conservative or whatever you identify as?
First of all, those two things don't go together. I'm an American first, and I have black heritage. I believe in conservative values, and the values that they uphold are the ones that I believe in. I believe in lower taxes. I mean, you go down and name it. I believe in a safe border. I love police officers. I think we spend more money for protecting people in our communities.
So does that mean to do like your racial background?
No, I like me being black is irrelevant.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the darker skin. I got a little more melanin than you do. It's irrelevant at the end of the day. We're all humans. We're all people.
I know, because sometimes like race is brought into like political discussion, what you're supposed to believe in or whatnot. So I'm just
It's race. It's called racism. When people bring race into something and project it on you because of your race, that's racism.
Officer Tatum. Let me get my dialect together. He made this conversation uncomfortable in a way a lot of people don't like, because once you start expecting somebody to vote a certain kind of way based on race or think a certain kind of way, you're not treating them like an individual anymore. You're treating them like, assigned inventory, and that's why more Black Americans are pushing back now. Now, this right here, I know you just seen the first clip and you've seen this clip side by side, but it's connected in the bigger grand scheme of things. But yeah, again, you're going to see people suddenly start to push back, and not just because they suddenly become conservatives. People just don't like being politically prepackaged.
50% of Black African-American people live in the South. So the South cannot be abandoned. It has to be invested in. The races are going to be more difficult. Our race for U.S. Congress just got a little bit harder. But the fact of the matter is we can still organize, mobilize, and with the necessary resources, win the district that we're running in. And so we cannot give up on the South. It's 15 to 20 congressional seats, 200 state House and state Senate seats. This is an opportunity for us to mobilize and to build and to organize power. And that's what we need to do as a party.
If you lose significant Black representation in Congress from the South, how is that going to affect Black communities? How do you see that going?
I mean, it'd be absolutely detrimental. And that's the intention of the Republican Party. I mean, white supremacy is a core pillar of the Republican Party. Donald Trump is the biggest white supremacist in the United States of America who is pushing these states to take these actions. And they are willingly capitulating, from Bill Lee, Cameron Sexton, Lieutenant Governor Rand McNally, all the way to the governors of Alabama and Mississippi. By not having Black representation, this puts us back in 1964, 1960, 1955, where Black people to be able to advocate for their issues and the concerns that we had. The Voting Rights Act was the most substantial piece of legislation because it started to make the ideal of democracy become a little bit more realized. And now that has been gutted. And so that takes away the voices that are necessary to speak to the issues of some of the most oppressed people in the United States of America who've endured the worst that this country can do. And that's what we're going to lose in Congress and likely in our state legislatures if we don't fight back. Mid-decade redistricting came about because this president of the United States fought forward in Texas and Democrats responded in kind. But the decision that was made in Virginia was made by voters. The decision made in Tennessee is being made by white supremacists in the legislature. It didn't go for a vote before the people. It was decided by a small group of people for the entire state. And that is wrong. That is very distinctly different, but that is what's being asked for and advocated for across the South. The same places where the Confederacy existed, they're now taking a victory lap for the final, what they think is the nail in the coffin. But our people always rise, our people always fight, and our community is going to fight and make sure that we still have representation no matter how many barriers they put up in front of us.
Now, this is where the frustration starts showing, right? Because every political disagreement is turning into white supremacy, Jim Crow, racism, and all that eventually burns people out, especially when regular people still struggling every day, regardless of who wins the election, right? And I think that's the disconnect politicians are missing. Passion can inspire people, but eventually people still want to know, okay, but what actually improved? That question just keeps getting louder and louder in real time.
I got one question for y'all. All of this redistricting stuff that's been happening, the question that we honestly just need to ask is, are Black people still voting? I'm arguing yes. Like the right to vote has not been stripped from you. So if Black people are still voting, what are we talking about? Like, what are we actually talking about? Because Democrats up in Tennessee are acting like these Tennessee Republicans have snatched ballots out of Black folks' hands, padlocked the polling places, and put Jim Crow at the front door with a clipboard and told these Memphis voters, I'm sorry, y'all, democracy is closed today. Y'all, that is not what happened. Don't let these people emotionally manipulate you like this. Let's not do this. Let me break it down and explain to you what happened down in Tennessee. Tennessee redrew their congressional map. And yes, the Democrats lost their guaranteed political playpen down in Memphis. You see, they've had such a political stronghold for so long, and they've been emotionally using the fight and the struggle of civil rights and the Edmund Pettus Bridge and all the bloodshed that happened. They've been using that in order to maintain political power in this one particular district. But y'all, they didn't lose democracy. They just lost control. They didn't lose any voting rights. Everybody can still vote. Your voting rights are still intact. But what happened was the melanated-minded Marxist Negroes, they lost their racial safety net. Oh, yeah. They lost it, and they are crashing out. And we're going to watch some of the crash out today because, y'all, they didn't lose Black representation. They lost their melanated Marxist monopoly. And now they are screaming voter suppression. See, that's one of the buzzwords and the key phrases to perk you up, to make you think that something bad is happening. Y'all, Black voters, Black voters have actually more options now than they had before. And let me tell you something, these Democrats, they hate options when they're used to ownership. Okay, anytime you try to introduce a little friendly competition, that's when they crash out, because that's when they know we're used to control. We're not used to competing. They're used to owning you like you are an electoral serf. So today, we're going to talk about this Tennessee redistricting meltdown. Yeah, we're going to watch the video of the crash out of Justin Pearson. But I want to explain, why was Memphis split up? Why have Democrats, why are they out here hollering like somebody repossessed the plantation mule? And why are Black voters are probably going to have more political power now and not less? Let's get into this.
We got to do the Trump dance with that. But see, April, man, she explained this better than most major networks ever could. They didn't lose democracy, they lost control. This is something I think we've all been identifying for a while now. Because competition, it changes everything. When voters stop feeling automatic politically, parties actually have to persuade people again instead of emotionally managing them every election season. And honestly, some people sound more offended by independent thinking than the actual maps.
Kate, I hate to ruin your morning, but it's going to be more like R plus 10.
I assure you, you will not ruin my morning, Scott Jennings.
It's going to be more like 10 or 11, I think, after all of this, because not only do you have the Virginia case, you've got Louisiana redrawing, Tennessee.
Let's put up the map if we can there, just to show the redistricting push. We calculate that Republicans have figured out a way to pick up about 14 seats. Democrats is about 6, so that's a net 8.
But you haven't. But Louisiana is still yellow. That's going to be
it's all
Alabama's another one. South Carolina mayor. We'll see what happens in South Carolina. So the point is, and look, don't take it from me. Washington Post, New York Times, the math and the map totally upended. So just a few days ago, Republicans were in the doldrums about the midterms. Mm-hmm. Now, because of Virginia, because of the redraws after the Voting Rights Act case, you've got Republicans feeling resurgent. The map looks good. The money looks good. The candidates look good. So we actually have a real race here, whereas just a couple of weeks ago, Republicans were in despair.
The Republicans still have to win those seats.
Yeah, I mean,
Kate, I hate to ruin your...
Scott Jennings talks like somebody that already accepted politics as a numbers game, while everybody else is still arguing emotionally. That's why these clips keep going viral. People are tired of conversations where every disagreement turns into the end of civilization. I'm telling you, most Americans don't live online. They care about bills, groceries, safety, their future. And the more disconnected political messaging becomes from normal life, the more voters are just going to drift.
Democrat Representative Justin Pearson decided to let everybody know that he thinks Donald Trump is the biggest white supremacist in American history. Oh, really? Considering that Joe Biden sat on the Breakfast Club and basically told all of Black Americans that they're not Black if they don't vote for him, as if we don't have a damn choice. Hey, Toby, you better be good and vote for me, Toby. That's basically, you know what I think of you, man? I think you a jigaboo. I think you going around with my afro. I got the afro playing this whole pro-Black BS baloney just like Al Sharpton did back in the day, who still seems to not get the fucking memo that Black people are waking up. You can't bamboozle us no more, okay? You can't bedazzle us with your whole pro-Black BS. Maybe the very small percentage of Black women out there that are still very much easily manipulated, or the dodo brain Black man out there that seems that don't want to take initiative to be a better functioning human being and that are easily manipulated. Maybe you can get over on them, but you can't get over on the average Black man or Black woman, because we waking up and smelling the coffee. Do you not get the damn memo? How dare you, man? How dare you? Out of all the shit that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris put us through in their whole administration, you know what? Let's take them out of the damn equation. All the things that the Democratic Party has put us through the last 50 years, you still gonna get on? Oh, Donald Trump, a person, mind you, that's been president for what, going on 5 years? 5 years? The problem that we are having is not from Donald Trump. It's the buildup from the disastrous decisions and policies that the Democratic Party has stole on black Americans in the last 50 damn years, okay? From Planned Parenthood, all right? You had Kamala Harris say, I'm not gonna do nothing for black Americans. Oh, no, because we all American, which, mind you, I agree. However, then, we gonna do something for the alphabet community, and then we gonna do from the Asian community. Man, get the hell out of here, man. You ain't fooling nobody. If you don't shut your young ass up, sick of these because you know what it is? You're looking out for yourself. You understand what the Democratic Party can do for you and benefit you. That's why you're going around parading and talking about Donald Trump is this and that. I'm Democrat. Ain't nobody in their right damn mind after the shit that we've been witnessing over the last 15 years is going to sit here and say, the Democratic Party is the best option? And I seen what you did, too. Gonna talk to that state trooper like you don't got no damn sense. I would have called your boy back, and I would have got in your face. These people disgust me, man. They disgust me. You know what the problem is, man. You know what the problem is. For you to get on and go around and say that Donald Trump, of all people, by the way, of all people, right? The same party that threw Jasmine Crockett under the bus, the same party that threw Bernie Sanders under the bus, the same party as we speak right now that is throwing John Fetterman under the bus. Logically, common sense, I know you got common sense. I know you got common sense. You ain't doing this because you pro-black. You're doing this because you're trying to make a name for yourself amongst a party that will forever look at you as a damn Toby, boy.
Ooh, now I had to edit some of that out. For real. My boy came in hot. But underneath all that yelling, man, is something real that a lot of people are feeling, and it's exhaustion. Exhaustion with race being used like a permanent political leash. Exhausted with being emotionally summoned every election cycle. Exhausted with being told questioning politicians means you somehow betrayed your community. That frustration is growing fast. And honestly, that's why everybody's reacting, to right now, reacting to right now more than the maps themselves. I think the maps just exposed it. So if you made it to the end of this video, I want you to comment the word drift. Y'all be safe. Go check on somebody today. Happy Mother's Day. And you could be saving their life when you check on them. Peace.